Hi, good afternoon. I'm Professor Steve Love from the School of Simulation and Visualisation at the Glasgow School of Art. I'm not actually the KTP associate on the project, that's Jordan, who's sitting up there. And I'm with my partner from ISO Design, Damien Smith, and today we're going to give you a brief overview of our digital Laocoön project that we're doing together. We had three key aims in our project. We're interested in looking at the obstacles that organisations have when they're trying to put together immersive digital experiences in a museum context. And we were interested in looking to see if we could start to develop some basic rudimentary framework to help people overcome these type of obstacles. And the context we chose for this work was the restoration of the Macintosh building at the Glasgow School of Art, which was damaged by fire in May 2014. Obviously, as you all know now, there was another tragic event on the 15th of June this year. So the whole Macintosh building burnt down. So this adds a bit of poignancy to the project that we're doing, because the work that we've got for this project are the only representation the art school have of the Laocoön statue and the studio in which it was based.
Yeah, the assets we had to work from are primarily the archive from the art school, very, very rich archive. The 3D scans of the damaged statues that were rescued from Fire 1 and Studio 39 where they were restored. And when we originally proposed the project, we actually didn't know what we were going to do with the art school. We just knew we wanted to respond to a fairly traumatic experience. When I studied at the art school, the statues were part of the everyday fabric of the building. They weren't particularly worshipped or looked after, but they were a symbol of the art school. In the 1900s, they were used in life drawing classes, and when they fell out of favour, they became more like decoration. But the conservation work on Laocoön especially was really, really striking. It went from the plaster cast, which is based on a marble original in the Vatican, really badly destroyed and amazingly conserved. So with those assets, we thought this is the piece of work we want to concentrate on and to tell that story of the restoration process. Yep, sorry.
And what underpinned the work, the methodology that we adopted, was a co-design approach. We wanted to get key groups of stakeholders involved in the design of our VR experience. Not just end users who would come through the door, but curators, museum managers, also finance people, because they've got to really have an understanding of what it is that they're actually bankrolling when they say they want to try this new type of AR and VR experience.
So there was a number of areas of investigation from a kind of creative and technical perspective. Three of the areas we looked at were really interested in that VR offers that other media doesn't. It's things like spatial navigation, the fact you can control an experience by where you stand and the way you move around virtual objects. Gaze, which is like the rollover of the 21st century. There's no other medium which your attention will trigger reaction and serve up content on demand. We do a lot of work with digital assets, and we wanted to see what it would be like to position the object in almost like a theatre set, where we bring the archive to one-to-one scale, and it's almost like stepping into the photographs. But then also conceptually, really interesting, the art school Laocoön is a plaster copy of a marble original in the Vatican. That is believed to be a copy of a bronze Greek original lost in the 5th century BC. Our digital copy is the 4th generation digital replica. So lots of really interesting kind of theoretical challenges here.
And with familiar objects in the school's corridors. In May 24...
I didn't realise that had audio on it, sorry. So, the first iteration was the VR work, and this is where events can overtake your project. We just about finished this, and we told the story of the restoration, and this would be launched in the art school when it reopened, and you'd have an AR version. And then in June of this summer, it caught fire again. Laocoön is no more. I mean, it has been destroyed. Studio 39 has been destroyed. The only surviving artifact is our digital copy. This is Laocoön. This is the future of Laocoön. So really interesting kind of emotional reaction this has had to a lot of the people who worked on the project. By recreating Studio 39, they could step back into the place they spent 2 years working on this object. We've had tears as we lift the goggles from their eyes. It's been quite an emotional experience. Hopefully some of you have a chance to try it out today. We've got it downstairs. It's a fully finished work in its own right. But it gave us an idea of just how immersive, the I word again, but how kind of emotionally demanding that can be. And it's quite a powerful experience, I think.
Trained and with familiar
And then, sorry, just because we're running short of time, sort of going forward, the idea is we're going to take the Studio 39 concept and turn that into a virtual learning environment and go out into schools to give school children the opportunity to experience cultural heritage in a way they might not have had the opportunity to do before.
And a personal favourite of mine was, of course, you get to the end of the project, we had to 3D print the point cloud scan, we had to get our nylon model, we had to try casting it in jesmonite and plaster, we had to try setting fire to it, we had to try embedding iron filings, and we're watching it rust.
Fire to it, that's a bit.
Sorry. So personally, I've really enjoyed the fact we've gone from physical to the digital and back to the physical. More replicas of replicas of replicas.
Great. Thank you.